A very happy No King's Day to you all, and a very unhappy No King's Day to a very unhappy Donald Trump, who has been driven crazy that today is the biggest anti-Trump protest we have ever seen. It is the reason that he fled D.C. for Mar-a-Lago to try to stay away from the protesters, but it isn't working because Donald Trump's golf trip, his little retreat from seeing everyone who hates him, was blown up by No King's Day, and it is making him die inside. We are going to get into it all, but before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button because it goes a long way in supporting our work. Now, before we get into Donald Trump oh so sad about No King's Day and it blowing up his golf trip, I want to start with someone who talked about why today is so important, and that was Jack Cocchiarella right here.
Sure, they certainly have rounded up some bad hombres, and I think if you attack a police officer, then you should be taken in and also get your due process rights. But we also know there was a ProPublica investigation that more than 170 Americans have been detained by ICE, with 20 held for more than a day without being able to contact their lawyer or a loved one. And that's what the No Kings protest is about. Donald Trump says, I'm not a king. And yeah, we get it, you're not a king. You wish you were a king, and you're running this administration as if you should have those kinds of rights. The lack of respect for the Constitution and the laws of this country are astounding. And Trump even told Kristen Welker when he was on Meet the Press a few months ago that he didn't know if he had to uphold the Constitution. And in preparation for today's show, I just wanted to go over a few of the things that people who are going to be out there on the streets peacefully protesting are upset about. Starting with the basics, signing an executive order to do away with birthright citizenship, which is literally in the Constitution, sending troops into blue cities.
Oh, you mean anchor babies?
Unilaterally implementing tariffs, which Congress gets to do. I already talked about the 170 Americans who've been locked up. Cracking down on the First Amendment, detaining students for op-eds you don't like, targeting law firms, universities, reallocating funds appropriated by Congress to fund your big ICE force, firing inspectors generals that are looking into your friends like Elon Musk, making billions off of crypto scams, and your kids are running all over the world making deals. And the Trump administration has defied 1 in 3 judges that have ruled against him. And you're seeing that from judges appointed up from Reagan up to Donald Trump that are saying absolutely not, you are breaking the law in taking some of these actions. All of that is what No King's Day is about.
This is not a creeping authoritarian movement. This is an authoritarian in the White House. Donald Trump is stripping Congress of their power and doing it pretty easily, considering that Mike Johnson and John Thune are just his little bitches and they have no backbone and they won't stand up for what is supposed to be their job. But Donald Trump wants us so afraid of his authoritarian project that we just capitulate and allow it to happen. If we give in to Donald Trump like ABC did for a second there until they heard from us, like Columbia did, like law firms across the country did, like every business leader who is just, it's just so disgusting to watch these spineless guys bend the knee to Trump, then he wins. If we are scared, that is the greatest fuel for the fire of this authoritarian project. But we're not scared, even though MAGA is trying to intimidate us with lies like this.
Hate America rally.
Hate America rally.
Hate America rally.
We call it the Hate America rally.
The farthest left, the hardest core, the most unhinged in the Democratic Party.
This will be a Soros paid-for protest where his professional protesters show up.
It's all the pro-Hamas wing and the Antifa people. They're all coming out.
This is what the MAGA media, this is what the MAGA talking heads, that they want you to believe. They want you to believe that this is a hate-filled rally. They want you to believe that this is not going to do anything, but it is because it's driving them crazy, and it's not a hate-filled rally. That's what Donald Trump does. They want you scared. They want you intimidated, but it's just not going to happen. People are already turning out en masse. You might be watching this at a No King's Day protest. I am going to record this video, edit it, publish it, and then get out there myself. I got some fun interviews coming later today, but I cannot wait to see y'all. But Donald Trump, that doesn't make him happy because he had this to say about No Kings.
More than 2,000 people expected across the country protesting. I spoke with the president in the Oval Office yesterday about that. Watch.
Mr. President, do you think that the government shutdown is all about this rally that's happening this weekend, the No Kings rally?
No, I mean, some people say they want to delay it for a king. This is
more
not a
than
king. they're saying, they're referring to me as a king. I'm not a king.
Right. No, but just so that Chuck Schumer could go and say, I'm fighting Trump.
Yeah, well, Chuck is, at the end of the line. He's being beaten by everybody that they poll against. I don't think it matters to him. I think he's just so dead that he'll do anything. They made one mistake. They didn't realize that gives me the right to cut programs that Republicans never wanted. Giveaways, welfare programs, et cetera. And we're doing that, and we're cutting them permanently. We're cutting a $20 billion project that Schumer fought for 15 years to get, and I'm cutting the project.
Donald Trump wanted to spend the day at Mar-a-Lago, then he wanted to go golfing. He didn't want anyone to bother him, but that is not what's happening. Because in South Florida right now, in the conservative area around Donald Trump, protests all over the place. In every city, every town, every state, no matter where you are in America, there is a No King's Day protest happening right now. I hope you are watching this video at a No King's protest. Honestly, I want y'all to watch these videos, but I hope you're not. I hope you're just out talking to people, giving people big hugs, telling them how much you fucking hate Donald Trump and sharing in some community, because that is what today is about. I really cannot tell y'all how excited I am to get out there, to join in this fight, to be with y'all, to build this community, because that is what it is about. They want us deprived of our joy. They want us scared. They want us isolated. That is not what we are giving them today. We are giving them hell, and we are making fun of them. We are getting out in frog costumes. We are calling Donald Trump a fat orange fuck. We're calling Stephen Miller a little bald ghoul. We're going to make fun of them. We're going to intimidate them. We're going to hit back, and we're going to keep winning. Because Donald Trump has been losing all the time. He wants you to think that that's not the case, but it is. All Donald Trump does is lose. And Rachel Maddow gave us a little insight to some of those losses he's been taking lately right here.
These likely massive protests tomorrow are coming at a time of pronounced weakness for him and his administration. And I think the mainstream media doesn't always talk about this. I think one of Trump's great geniuses, one of the things he's actually truly great at, is getting the media to cover things he wants them to cover. Even if he can't always get the kinds of coverage that he wants, he can almost always get the topics covered that he wants. And so because of that, I think some of the ways in which he is at a profound moment of weakness in his presidency have just kind of slipped by and not made the headlines. But I think if you're being real and you take a wide aperture look at what's going on with him right now, that's the pretty obvious bottom line. I mean, here's just one piece of that. So today's Friday. Usually every Thursday, we get the jobs numbers, right? We get the jobless claims data. That usually happens every Thursday. On the first Friday of every month, we're supposed to get the data on the number of new jobs created in unemployment. We're not getting that now, apparently because of the government shutdown. The first Friday after the shutdown started, they reportedly had that jobs report ready to go and they could have released it, but they didn't for some reason. That's not exactly a sign of strength. Private sector job indicators around the same time, payroll data and stuff, indicated that the jobs numbers right at the start of the shutdown might actually be horrific numbers. And so who knows, maybe that influenced Trump's decision about not allowing that data to be released, even though they had it right at the start of the shutdown. We'll never know, right? Before the shutdown, Trump fired the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics when the jobs numbers started looking really bad. Well, now Trump has quietly withdrawn the nomination of the guy he picked to replace the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics. He's withdrawn that nomination and nobody new has been named for that job. Trump has also quietly just withdrawn his nomination for the person he wanted to put in charge of veterans benefits at the VA. That nomination has been pulled as well. Trump has also quietly just withdrawn his nominee for a senior oversight position at HUD. That nomination's been pulled as well. Trump has quietly just withdrawn his nomination for the person he wanted to be ambassador to Serbia. That's gone now, too. Trump has quietly just withdrawn his nomination to lead the CFTC, the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. That nominee then posted online about Trump donors telling him to, quote, rectify, meaning spike, a CFTC case against them, against the Trump donors. He says he refused to do that, and he says that's why his nomination was pulled. Trump's deputy White House chief of staff just quit and left. The chief of staff to Attorney General Pam Bondi just quit and left. They just removed the 25-year-old Fox News producer. They put in charge of the commission that's supposed to run the America's 250th birthday celebration. How come all these people are being pulled? How come all these nominations, controversial for one reason or another, are all just being yanked? Can't stand the bad press? Can no longer take it, political capital-wise, to have unpopular or problematic nominees pushed through the news cycle? You don't feel strong enough to bear that brunt anymore the way you used to? Today, this was a large protest on the lawn at the main campus quad at the University of Virginia. This is the protest there today with students and faculty and staff telling the UVA administration that they should refuse to sign this deal with the devil compact with the Trump administration to supposedly get special preferences in federal funding if you agree to Trump's ideological strictures on your academic freedom. This was the protest today at UVA, telling the UVA administration, don't you dare, do not sell us out, don't you sign that thing. This was today. And then this, tonight, was the statement, in fact, released by UVA's president, saying, okay, we're not doing it. We have told the Trump administration no. Remember when it was just Harvard standing up and all the other universities were too intimidated to say no? Well, now even the ones that caved before or that signed deals before with Trump, places like Brown University, even those schools have now learned that maybe signing deals with Trump is not a good idea. Trying to appease him, trying to stay on his good side is folly. It just shows weakness. It invites him to come back and bully you some more. And so in quick succession, we have seen MIT and Brown and Penn and USC and now UVA as well. They've all told the Trump White House, no, we're not doing it. We're not signing on to your little compact to restrict our academic freedom and our ideological freedom of movement in order to try to keep you happy. No, we are not doing it. We have learned our lesson. Forget it.
Donald Trump is not the big, scary, unbeatable monster that he wants you to think he is. It's just not the case. He's going to continue to lose in court. He's going to continue to lose to us. His golf games are going to continue to get blown up by our protest. Everywhere he goes, he will hear us shouting him down. And he will take those tiny little fingers of his to Truth Social to whine and attack us, but he's really just showing off his insecurity. So get out there today and keep on fighting. We're going to be doing so on this show. And if you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video. If you stuck around to the end, drop a blue heart in the comments. Keep on fighting. Don't let him silence you. And until next time, I'll see you soon.